Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our big band blowout here in the Garvin Theater. All three of our big bands on tonight. We're starting with our Good Times big band here from Santa Barbara City College. And tonight's a special concert. We want to honor a man who was just absolutely, pardon the horrible pun, instrumental in making this jazz program so wonderful here, and that's Dr. Charles Wood, or Dr. Jazz, as he liked to be called. All right, so we're going to be giving you some of his favorites and also some great tunes that are appropriate for that one. But we're going to start off with something much more basic. It's springtime. It's baseball season. So we're going to go ahead and take the old Take Me Out to the Ball Game for a spin on this one. We're going to be featuring Mr. Conrad Stinson back there on the trumpet, as well as our whole sax section. So hope you enjoy this one. Take Me Out to the Ball Game. If you like that tune, you're going to hear it again later. And not by this band. One of the fun things, we have three big bands going on here, is Andrew Martinez, who of course leads the Lunch Break and Monday Madness bands. We don't figure out together what literature we're going to do for each of our bands. And sure enough, a couple weeks ago, I'm walking by their rehearsal, and all of a sudden I start hearing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Now, they're doing a different version. That's going to be with the Monday Madness band. So this was our spring training right here. We're going to get the World Series version coming up here at the end of the show tonight. But, we're going to go ahead and do one here that is a personal favorite of mine, and I know Chuck would love this one as well. Classic by the great Sammy Nestico. And this one is going to be featuring Miss Stella Russell over here on the trombone. The absolute classic, God Bless the Child by Billie Holiday. Hope you enjoy this one. Come on down, Stella. Oh, there she is. No jump scares again. All right. Yeah, make sure that's, I've been kind of moving my microphone. for Stella Russell and her trombone section on that too right there. Thank you. We got a new one here, I should say a new one for a lot of people who probably aren't aware of this one. This is a tune that I got to play in high school. So it's hundreds of years old. But this is actually, I love the different styles. I see people up here ready in their music appreciation, taking notes on things, right? So you've had a nice classic straight ahead swing chart there with Take Me Out of the Ball Game. You have a beautiful ballad here, right? The next one is my personal favorite, and that is a jazz waltz. And this is a guy who was really big in the 80s named Earl Klugh. And he wrote this tune called Rainmaker. And it actually got very popular, enough to this point where it spawned a sequel, Return of the Rainmaker, on this one. But I had so much fun with this one, when I left high school, I made sure I got a copy of this. And I've been keeping it. It's been out of print for years. So it's almost unheard anymore, but I'm really happy that we still have a copy available for this one. We're going to be hearing again from Conrad back there on the trumpet. We're also going to be hearing from Maria Cincotta up here on the alto sax, and also Carl Hernandez right over here on the tenor sax as well. And a whole little rhythm section groove going on this one. Hope you like this. Rainmaker by Earl Klugh. It's a fun little tune. That should be back in print right there. All right. We're going to go ahead and feature another trombonist here. Not that I'm biased at all, being a trombonist myself here. But Mr. Mark Maynard coming up here. We're going to go ahead, right? We've now given you swinger, ballad, waltz. So it's like a little Latin jazz this time, right? So we're going to go ahead and do a bossa nova. This is a classic one. A lot of you will remember back in the days. George Benson made this a really famous one. Simply called This Masquerade. So Mark's going to go ahead, once I give him the microphone back so he can go ahead and play in the microphone again. He probably like that. All good. Mr. Mark Maynard right there. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. We've given all these different styles of jazz here. And this last one goes back to the very origins of jazz here. How can you not do When the Saints Go Marching In? All right? And this one, I want to go ahead and put out a special dedication here to Dr. Wood on this one, because he's probably teaching that trumpet section up there right now. Right? One of the things I remember when I was listening in on his jazz history classes, he taught here for many years, right? He explained that the Benny Goodman Band, very famous one, right? They were very, very popular back east, and they were on the radio all the time there. And the band wanted to go ahead and take a nationwide tour to get jazz out in the 1930s. And as they headed out of New York, the audiences got smaller and smaller and smaller. The reason why is when the radio show was on in New York, right, there's a time difference. And people who wanted to hear it out farther away, they were out doing other stuff at those earlier hours. Well, by the time they got finally to the last performance, the Palomar Ballroom, Gene Krupa, the drummer, said, let's play the stuff that we want to play. We don't care if the audience is there or not. Let's just have a good time. And they brought out this tune called Sing, Sing, Sing. Right? So, our version of When the Saints Go Marching In here is a mix of the regular tune and Sing, Sing, Sing. So you're going to hear a little bit here on Gene Krupa right here, who's being played tonight by Nathan Cartier. Right? We're also going to be hearing some more back there from Conrad. Right? And who else is on this one here too? Is that it? Am I forgetting something? And Mark, oh yes. Mark's going to do something at the end. We're all going to do something at the end. This one goes out to you, Chuck. When the Saints Go Marching In. Ramos and Dog, good time. Good time. Thanks so much. And by the way, we have a very special extra Soho performance going on 1 week from tonight at Soho Restaurant at 1221 in State Street right there. All right, come on out, check us out one more time on that if you'd like to on that one. But thank you so much. We are just beginning tonight, though. We've got, of course, the lunch break and Monday Madness Band's coming up. But before I'm out of here, one more time, as always, thank you for coming out and supporting live music in this town. It means all so very much to every single one of us on this stage. Thank you so much. Have a good night.